peace. To be able to be at peace helps us to sleep. If we're not at peace on any level, whether it's emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or even physically, we're not at peace. We don't feel at peace within our own bodies. We can't sleep.
It's like Freddie's like, be grateful for this. How about this? Are you grateful now? And even the things that were not great, because I know somehow I got something out of it. I could take back something. I learned something. I grew stronger. I knew gratitude, joy, kindness. I feel it's like a cycle in a sense. It's a connected cycle. That when you acknowledge that a blessing, right? So you either show gratitude interiorly or you express it. It makes you happy. Right? It makes you realize that, hey, my life is good. You know, it's not perfect, but it's not all bad. I've got these wonderful blessings. And then the joy makes you want to pay it forward in that sense. It makes you want to pass it on. And then the joy turns into kindness towards other people. So I just feel that that's like the opposite of a vicious circle. It's like I don't know what word to use. A blessing circle in a sense. And it's not platitudes. Like people always say that that's like something you read on a quote, you know, and people put it out and they feel good about it, you know, about themselves acknowledging it. But it's true when you actually practice it. You can go through that cycle and it repeats itself.
I think ultimately it's about practicing it, right? Not just
talking about it.
Not just talking about it or reading about it. If you practice it, it comes back full circle, and I think the experience of the gratitude and the joy that comes, that just expands your heart, you know, and you don't even have to like put on social media and tell people about it.
Correct.
You know? It's an experience that you savor. That you feel this almost like a bursting of joy. You know, when that happens. And on days where things don't go as well, you know, I think the focus is also back to gratitude for what you have, right? Versus what you don't have. And then you create that positive cycle. It may be small because you may be feeling overwhelmed by
other
things that are
at
not
that
going
moment.
right. But then it picks up, right? It's like the snowball. The snowball effect.
And then when you pass it on in terms of kindness, that other person, the next person will say, oh, I'm so thankful this person gave me the seed, you know? And then that gratitude brings that person joy. And then the next time that person will remember, okay, I will be kind to the salesperson or whatever, and I'll be patient. It just goes on and on. So
it does go on and on. You know, walking my dog, just bringing him downstairs has sparked 2 different conversations with 2 different people where they're just random people. I don't know them. And you know, they're just looking at my dog and talking about how the dog, you know, is old. And on these 2 separate occasions, these 2 people who spoke to me about their dog, they both cried when they were talking, you know, and I felt like I think they've been wanting to say something, they've been wanting to express their own grief, but maybe never had a chance, or no one listened, or whatever it may be, right? And so when they were sharing, right, their grief, right, and I thought, oh my God, you know, I just felt like, okay, all I need to do is just be there. You know, I didn't even have to
say anything.
Ultimately,
just listen, right?
And I think that was what they needed. You know, and so that was for me, that's like, I felt grateful to be there at the right time, at the right moment where we met and then we sparked this conversation. And it's, yeah, so it's just this year, 2 different people.
Wow. Did they have another dog with them?
They
Like,
didn't.
okay. So
They
they
didn't
were
have a
just
dog.
walking on their
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then we just
That's
had this.
really quite not it's people will say it's coincidence, but it really feels like it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't believe in coincidence. When sometimes, I have these kind of encounters and I don't like to share it with other people because sometimes these kind of experiences I have happen so often that there's some people who don't believe that this is what
They
I
doubt it.
experienced.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they think that I make up stories or
yeah,
like, I like
yeah,
what do
yeah.
I gain from it, right? If I
Correct,
if I
correct.
make up a
Yeah.
story. Yeah, but so
Maybe
these
they
things,
don't even believe that the story is true,
yeah,
or they don't believe that
they don't believe that I
it's meant
experience
to be.
these sort
Oh,
of things so often.
that's ridiculous. I
You
mean, to
know.
not even believe that the story is true, that it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. 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 So it's
Oh,
just yeah, did I tell you about the time when I think I may have mentioned this boy, he got trapped under a van.
no, you didn't tell
I
me.
didn't tell you.
A boy, how must have been quite a young
He
boy.
was maybe 5 or 6. So I
Okay.
was coming out. I was staying at my previous apartment building. I was coming out of the gate, and this van was stopping. Delivery guy was stopping. So he parked there. Oh no, he came. He already delivered, so he was going back to the van, and I was coming out with the dog.
Okay.
From the corner of my eye, I saw a little boy on his bicycle. He went, like in front of the van because he was going to go home. And then as the boy passed, the van moved. My heart dropped.
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
And I went like,
Yeah,
oh my God.
yeah.
So I ran to the side and I saw that the boy was pinned under
Oh my
with one
God.
of the wheels on top of him, right? And then I waved frantically for the driver to move. And so when he moved, I said, okay, then stop. And then by then there were
Yeah,
other cars
people
stopped
came.
and
Yeah.
helped to pick the boy, aside, and we didn't move him. We called the ambulance and blah blah blah. And at that moment, right, my
Oh,
mouth just went dry because adrenaline
oh,
was pumping, right?
yeah.
So I tied the dog to the
Shocked.
fence
Yeah.
and then, did everything, to try and help. And then ambulance came.
Was he very badly injured? I hope
So
not.
there was a tire mark. You can see the tire mark on his leg, right? So then, for me, the miracle happened because then I got the mom's contact. The mom got my contact number because she had her bike. We actually had to contact the mom because the boy was alone. He was actually cycling back.
Sure.
We got the number from the boy, contacted the mom. The mom came on her bicycle
Mm.
as well to, I
Okay.
think they were a bit of a distance.
Okay.
So they all went, the mom and the boy went,
To
to
the
the
ambulance. Yeah.
ambulance. And I told the mom she could park the bike with me.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe she took down my number wrongly and she tried to call me, but she couldn't. So 2 days later, right, I was just in my living room looking out of the window. I could see the apartment gate, right? I saw this lady and the boy
Hmm.
walking in,
Okay. Okay.
wanting to collect the bike. And
Yeah.
I ran out and I was shocked. The boy was okay. And then the
Yeah.
mom said it was a miracle because even the doctors were
Cannot
shocked
explain.
that nothing
Okay.
happened because there was very clear tire mark, and there was no cuts, no, okay, maybe there were cuts, but no bruises, no,
All
nothing
superficial.
serious. Yeah.
Hmm.
And he
No
was like
broken
very happy.
bones. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just walking. I was like, what?
Wow.
It was quite
It's a
shocking.
miracle. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought, oh my God, so glad I was there at the right time, managed to get
Yeah.
the van to move away, right? And not, yeah, it was just, so this kind of things, right, that keeps, inverted commas, keeps happening. For me, I feel like it's always being at the right time in the right place to
Mm,
help people in whatever shape and
mm,
form.
mm, mm.
And that's a cycle, right?
Yes.
Even though it left, I mean, it left a mark on me, like a bit traumatic.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had to process that.
Yeah.
And then, but then I was so grateful when I saw the boy, right? Because I was holding uh this big discomfort within me because I didn't know what
Mm.
happened to him, what he
Yeah.
was doing.
Yeah.
But then when I saw him, I was like, "Ah," this weight lifted right from me. Like,
It's like resolution,
yeah,
like, yeah,
yeah,
not like an unknown. Yeah.
yeah. And then feeling so happy, so
Relieved.
joyful, relief,
Yeah.
and then the gratitude and all
Yeah.
of that. And I think
Right.
that, yeah, it's just this whole, and I agree with you, the cycle of gratitude, kindness, joy, it
Yeah.
just grows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they keep in touch with you
No, no,
subsequently?
no.
Okay.
I think they're Russians. Yeah,
Ah, I see.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So it
Yeah.
was quite something.
I know. I know.
I
Yeah.
think this happened in 2023.
Okay, that's pretty recent.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
recent. Pretty
Yeah.
recent. Yeah.
And it's just, I guess, the people you meet are meant to be. Yeah. I
Mm.
don't, even if you never see them again,
Yeah.
somehow it had to happen so that something else would happen, or you would meet other people as a result.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they are maybe just passing links, but
Yeah.
yeah, they had to be there as a
Yeah.
stepping stone in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Always. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. So you told me that you keep a gratitude journal.
Mm. I
Tell us
do.
more about it.
So this gratitude journal, okay, I started it by telling myself, okay, I need to write like 5 things I'm grateful for, right?
Every day.
Every day. But then now it has evolved where I just say things I'm grateful for.
Okay.
Because there's certain days where I'm really grateful for so many things,
Mm,
and
mm,
certain days where I'm just grateful for one thing.
mm. Sure.
And to do it like 5 things is like then it becomes like I'm just trying too hard or pushing it. It becomes
Forcing
a
it.
bit
Yeah.
fake. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
True.
I do that, and they are just, just like notebooks that I buy, and I just fill it up with things I'm grateful for. So on days where I feel like nothing is going well, is when I will look at the gratitude journal,
Mm,
right? Or the gratitude log.
mm,
I'll look at it and say, oh, but
mm,
this thing did work out, in the past when I
mm,
had a similar challenge or something
mm.
close to it, but then it did work out.
Yeah.
So I think it sets a reminder. It's very easy to forget that things do work out. You're right, because we get caught in the whole spiral of
Yeah.
sometimes
That it
negativity.
didn't work out. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I have it, handy, and a few times the cat has destroyed it by scratching it, but
Freddy, the destroyer.
yes, Freddy the Destroyer. But I've got spare. I've got these spare notebooks, identical yellow in color,
Okay.
that I
Okay.
buy in bulk.
Wow. So,
Hmm.
do you write in great detail or do you just put one-liners?
It depends.
Okay.
Certain things I feel like just one line is not enough, like
Okay.
not obvious enough.
Okay.
So certain things I would just like, it could be a whole page, even
Okay.
for that one thing,
Okay. Okay.
because it sets, for me, it sets a reminder
Mm,
as to why I have certain things, or why I'm grateful for this person or
mm,
that person,
mm, mm.
or situation.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so there's no hard and
No
fast
fixed.
rule.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are
Okay.
days where I don't write in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
though I try to do it daily because there are always things to be grateful for on a daily basis.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
but there are days where,
absolutely.
yeah, where things just get a little bit crazy and then I like, oh, forgot. So, but
Right,
that's
right.
okay,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
I'll just do it the next day.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess what you said about going back to it on hard days, that
Mm.
is really also the purpose of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just filling it up with as many things as different things, but it is going to serve you beyond that, beyond
Yeah.
the writing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
For
becomes
sure.
a reminder, like you say, a
Yes.
book, a
Yes.
reference, yeah, a
Yeah.
gratitude reference. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
used to do it online, but
Mm,
then it's
mm,
different. You know, when
mm.
you type it out,
I think so. Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
so different.
yeah.
Even though I mean it gets destroyed by the cat, you know, scratching and all that, but then it's still I think it gives it a little bit of uh I don't know, character. Like I'm grateful
It's
for this
like,
journal, even though it's so destroyed and
yeah, yeah.
tattered.
It's like Freddie's like, be grateful for this. How about this? Are you grateful now? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, grateful for me, my presence in your life. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok video about a woman who keeps a gratitude journal. So she, like you, she would put in 5 or 10 things, I can't remember, every
Mm,
day. Yeah. And then I thought, oh yeah, that's such a wonderful practice. And that's when I texted you or something to
yeah.
say, hey, this is quite an interesting topic. And then you say, oh, but I'll keep a journal. Yeah. So get that got me thinking, like, because when I saw the video, I thought, okay, I should start that too. And then
Mm,
who knows what it would evolve into, beyond just something for yourself.
yeah.
It could be for other people to read, like
Yeah.
become books that you can publish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I was thinking, okay, actually my version of a gratitude journal is what I call a daily examine,
Mm,
where before I go to sleep, I will recount my entire day
mm,
and thank God for everything that happened. Yeah,
mm,
yeah. And even the things that were not great,
mm.
because I know somehow I got something out of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could take back something. I learned something. I grew
Yeah.
stronger. I knew not to go in that direction. Whatever it is, there's always something to learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I wanted to share with you that actually I do have a gratitude journal. It's just verbal,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
or, or it's interior, so to speak. Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
carry it within
Yeah.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So do you like so you do it before going to bed at night?
Yes,
And
yes.
so do you say it out or is it
I
in your heart?
say it out to myself.
Okay.
Okay, sometimes when I'm very, 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 very tired, then I will just say it in my heart. Because
Mm.
just like falling asleep already. Yeah, yeah. But if I'm not that sleepy, then yes, I will actually say it out and I'll recount from the moment I wake up in the morning, my entire day and all the things that I'm thankful for. Yeah.
Mm.
And
Mm.
it teaches me not to take things for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you will not always have another day or
Yeah.
tomorrow, right? As they
Yes.
say. Yeah. And in fact, whenever I go to bed, I would also say, if you take me before I wake, then I hope that my angel, my guardian angel, and Mother Mary will bring me safely back to you. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So I always just ask for that. And then
Mm.
please just take care of the 4 cats, because they're out of my hands now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really good to go to bed with that kind of
Mm,
mindset
mm,
of thanks and
yeah.
gratitude.
Yes.
And so I often like to do this, you know, before going to bed. I would say goodnight to the dog, the cats, right? And I often say, okay, I know you guys don't even understand me, but you know, I just want to say
That's
it.
very, very, very nice.
Yeah.
So you kind of like tuck them in a way, it's like tucking them in.
No, I, you know, I know they can hear me. I'm on my bed. They're just around, like somewhere. I know the dog is beside me. The cats are like somewhere around. They're not
Okay.
far. They're
They
usually
don't sleep with you on the bed?
the cats do.
The cats do. Okay.
Sometimes they jump on the bed.
Okay.
But you know, when I go into the room, everybody will go into the room.
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that they're somewhere,
So
right? So
cute.
either hiding in the
Yeah.
cupboard, on the shelf, or something.
So nice.
Yeah. And so then I'll just tell them,
So nice.
like if one of them happens to land on my bed, right, one of the cats, then I'll say, "Oh, why are you so cute?" And be grateful for that,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I like to go to bed with that kind of feeling of
Mm.
like
Mm.
I've said my piece with them, right? I've said
Mm.
good night. I have
Mm.
this thankfulness in my
Mm.
heart, and I feel like when I do this, I go to bed very nicely.
Mm.
Like if I forget, right? Let's say I am uh maybe I had some Netflix program on, and then I happen to fall asleep
Mm.
with it,
Mm.
right? Then I
Yeah.
have to wake up middle of the night just to close my laptop.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
sleep is not the same. It's
Sure.
not so deep. It's not
Sure.
so restful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I believe everyone needs to have a wind down night ritual, right?
Mm.
And sleeping, like when people complain about not being able to sleep, sometimes you wonder what their ritual is. And
Yeah.
maybe they need a proper ritual,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
to help
Yeah.
them to feel at peace.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I think essentially we are ritualistic, beings. I think animals even have rituals, right?
Yes,
So let
yes,
alone,
yes.
humans. So we do need rituals as part of our cycle or whatever you
Mm,
want to call it, right? To
mm,
wind down,
mm,
to do what we need to do so
mm,
we feel at peace. I think
mm,
I think you hit it right on the nail. Peace.
mm.
To be able to be at peace helps us to sleep. If we're not at peace on any level, whether it's
Yeah,
emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or even physically, we're not at
yeah,
peace. We don't feel at peace within our own bodies. We can't sleep.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because we have not let go enough
Mm,
to be able to drift. Right?
mm,
It's not feeling safe, not being in a state of fear on some level or another.
mm,
Anxiety is fear,
mm,
right?
mm,
Um, and if we are in that space, then of course we can't sleep because
mm,
there's lack of trust
mm,
and
mm.
no safety.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's almost like when you start the day, you take off, right?
Yeah,
Like you're flying object in a way, buzzing around your day, all your chores. And then at night, before you sleep, you have to land.
yeah.
So it's like if you don't land your plane or your flying, you know, object properly, then yeah, how are you going to rest? Yeah, you are
Yeah,
not properly grounded yet.
yeah,
Yeah, so you
yeah.
need to ground your
Yes.
airship, so to speak. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, totally.
yeah. And I think gratitude is a good way
Mm,
to help you wind down
yeah, yeah,
because you know how the day has gone,
yeah.
and that's when you've seen the day. Yeah,
Mm,
but you don't know what tomorrow holds.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
Mm,
but you can still be thankful for
yeah,
what you have had today.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have you heard of these things called grounding mat and grounding sheets?
I've heard of them. I've heard of them. I heard that they are very, very effective.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
I
quite fascinated with it. At one time, I kept seeing videos on it, but then I kind of lost track of it and I've forgotten all about it. But now
Yeah,
that you remind me, yeah, tell me
yeah,
more about it.
yeah. I have a grounding mat.
Okay.
And usually the grounding mat, you're meant to leave it on the floor, and you like wherever you're sitting, you just put your legs on it. You just step on it, so you're grounded the whole day.
Okay.
But I don't use it that way. I put the grounding mat on my bed.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that so every night before going to bed, I have to adjust the grounding mat, right? So when I adjust the grounding mat, it's part of my ritual. I
Mm.
have to adjust it so that it's at the right spot that I have skin contact with the mat. And then
Mm.
when I'm laying in bed, like whatever I'm doing, whether I'm praying or uh, visualizing or whatever I'm doing, I know that I'm grounding at the same time. And
Okay.
the grounding mat I have found to be effective because energetically, I think it helps to move your even your chi in the body, right? Your
Mm,
meridians
mm,
get so
mm,
aligned
mm. The
and
flow. It
it really
flows smoothly.
flows and you feel like um I think for people who suffer from insomnia, this is quite good.
Mm.
Uh, it also takes away aches and pains
Okay.
for some people. Yeah.
Okay.
So like I guess when we get older, we have more and more inflammation in the
Mm.
body.
Mm.
For midlifers,
Yes.
they they need to maybe
Yeah.
think of this solution
Yeah.
to use the grounding mat. Or if you don't want to do, at least go outside and ground, remove your shoes, stand on the ground and
Right.
connect with the
Right.
earth. Because once you are able to do that, it actually brings your blood pressure down. You connect with the earth. You feel much more connected and whole. Your energy has somewhere to go, right into
Mm.
the earth.
Mm.
So, so I've had the grounding mat for a while now. I do sleep very well usually at night. I don't think, oh well, I'm sure the grounding mat has contributed to it.
Mm. Mm.
I do sleep well
You sleep better
usually.
now,
I,
as
I
opposed
think,
to before.
yeah, I think it has made the sleep deeper for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And it has also helped me in my because I get a lot of half sleep, half wake
Okay.
experiences. That's part of my, I don't know, soul traveling or whatever traveling you want to
Okay.
call it. I get a lot of that. And when I have that grounding mat, it makes it much more, my visions become much more solid for me.
Mm.
Yeah. It's less, it's much more solid in the sense that I can make out what it is
Okay.
versus like what's this like
Okay.
being very
Okay.
vague or
Foggy.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so it's very helpful for me in that sense. I highly recommend it to everybody.
But do you need to plug it into something
You
like,
do need to plug it in, but you don't need to turn it on. You don't need to turn
oh,
it on because it's grounding, like the 3-pin plug, right?
I
The
see.
ground doesn't need you to turn it on. It
I
just
see.
passes through into the electrical
Okay.
currents into the wall socket. It grounds. So you
Okay.
just need to plug it in. You don't need to turn it on. And then automatically it grounds the energies. It's
Okay. So is it a very large piece of mats that
the
covers your
mat.
entire body, or
No, the mat is maybe the size of a, well, maybe about
like a
50
rug?
cm by 50.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a
Like
small,
a
like a floor
welcome
rug.
mat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they do have grounding sheets.
Mm.
The grounding sheet is very thin sheet that you can
Okay.
place on.
Is
But
it as good? No, not as
I
effective.
think it is. I bought my parents one. So my parents have got a grounding sheet and grounding mat
Okay.
as well. So I think it helps to elevate the pain that they have. Especially, I think
Okay.
my father, my mom doesn't want to use it. So I think it has helped my father with the
Okay.
aches and pain.
Okay.
But the sheet, I I think with pets is a bit more troublesome. Like when you have cats, right? And the
They
cats
get
sleep.
all messy, yeah. Or they might
Yeah,
scratch it or go under it, yeah.
yeah. That's why I
Play with
didn't
it.
buy the sheet for myself. I got the mat for myself,
Okay.
and I don't leave it on the floor because I know if I leave it on the floor, they're going to scratch it. So I put it on my bed. But what I found very interesting is whenever the grounding mat is not under the duvet, it's exposed, right? The cats will all want to sleep on it. Yeah. So they're like drawn to the grounding mat.
The energy.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's effective. Highly. The website, if you want, is I'm not doing any promotion. I don't earn
I'm sure
anything.
there are many different brands that do it, right?
Yeah, but this particular one is quite good. It's called Grounding Well,
Okay.
groundingwell.com.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a brand I would recommend to people if you're gonna buy. And they always have sale, like some sale going on.
Okay.
You
Are
buy
they
a
expensive?
bundle. I think if you buy a bundle, both the sheet and the mat, it could cost you $140.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And then or you could buy two mats or whatever
Right.
combination. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good as gifts for people, right?
Yeah.
Family and friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Especially older folks.
Hmm. Or
Yeah.
very stressed, younger folk who are very stressed. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that will help them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's very good. So it makes you much more grounded, and more
Mm.
aligned in your energy.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's this, like we always say, oh, this person is very grounded.
Yeah.
It has a lot of meaning to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's actually such an important thing to be
Yes.
grounded, like to have
Yeah.
a strong foundation, to be stable,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
to have a
And
core. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
in my mind, I always imagine like if a person is grounded, it means that all of their emotions, all of their thoughts, and all their body is all aligned. It's like
Mm.
they're
All
not
over the
like,
place. Yeah.
yeah,
Erratic,
yeah.
flighty.
You've seen
Yeah.
people right all over the place, like
Yeah.
like huh?
Anxious. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all over, so they're not grounded.
Scatterbrained.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a person with scatterbrain cannot be grounded. They're not grounded. That's why they're scatterbrain, right? Yeah,
Forgetful. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay. How did we get from gratitude to grounded?
Because being grounded is very important.
Yeah.
When you're grounded, then you can feel the gratitude.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess it's good to be grounded in gratitude anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
matter what happens, never forget to say thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when life is very difficult,
Yeah.
when some kindness comes your way, you have to say thank you. Like, I always feel that it is in the worst of times that people show their real character. Yeah. It is no point being nice to everybody when
Yeah.
your life is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's when your life is bad and hard that if you are still kind and
Yeah.
grounded and grateful,
Yeah.
that's when it matters. And that's when your true colors show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also the other way around, right? When you're going through not such a good time
Yeah.
and the true colors of the other person
Yes.
comes up to tell us like, oh, is this
Yes.
someone that
Yes.
I really want to
Have
confide in the
around.
future?
Yes.
Yeah, to have around in
Yeah.
my life. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is this person either running away or
Yeah.
indifferent
Yeah.
to my difficulties?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this year for me has been that, to be able to
A
see the true
knowing of this.
colors.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
very interesting.
It's
Yeah.
coming up so
Clearly.
very clearly, like, okay, I'll spend less time with
Mm.
this person,
Mm.
or I'll spend more time with this other person, that kind of thing. It
Mm.
shows up so clearly just by me sharing a simple thing
Mm.
and their response to it.
Mm.
And then you go like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really shows.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
shows.
That's a real gift
It
of
is.
knowledge, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Because how else will you know? And
Yeah.
I think one of the most important things to know is who's got your back, really. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everything else you can't control. Yeah.
Mm,
Things will just happen. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And sometimes it's also when you're going through a difficult time, it makes other people uncomfortable.
Mm.
And because it makes other people uncomfortable, they're not able to hold space for
Mm.
you.
Mm.
And if they're not able to hold space for you, then eventually the friendship or relationship becomes one-sided.
Mm.
Because then you'll be the one always holding
Mm.
space for the other,
Yes.
but not the other way around.
Yes.
So it's not these kind of connections, I always find like this is not a relationship.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
It's
not.
just out of convenience, or they need something from you
Yeah.
at that point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were of some use to
Yeah.
them. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's true.
So we need to
Mm.
be also grateful for these moments.
Yes. Yeah, clarity, right?
Yes.
Enlightenment and clarity.
Yeah.
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 So what is the most okay, the year is almost over. So what are the three things I would ask that you are most grateful for so far?
The three things, the top one would be my health.
Mm.
I'm really grateful for my health, my well-being,
Mm.
my
Mm.
emotional and mental and physical well-being.
Mm.
Because I was just thinking about this the other day.
Mm.
When I look at around me, there's so many people who are not well
Mm.
emotionally and mentally.
Mm.
And you feel almost like the odd one out
Mm.
when,
That's terrible, isn't it?
yeah, you feel like, okay, everyone thinks that's normal when you know very clearly it's not normal.
Yeah.
to,
It's disease,
yeah,
disease, as they say. Yeah.
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 But then you can't tell them that,
Yeah. Of
because
course. Yeah.
it gets difficult, right?
Mm.
So in a sense, then you go into this like,
It's like,
okay,
what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with me. So what's wrong with me?
yeah. So for that, I'm grateful to be able to see that, and to the other second thing I'm really grateful for is to be able to stay in my own lane,
Mm.
even though I see what is happening,
Mm.
and
Mm. Mm.
and I still make the right choice for myself.
Yeah.
you know, um,
Yeah.
despite not, the choices I make are not very popular choices. Like it's not normal for most people; they will not choose what I choose.
Mm.
But I'm grateful for the choices I've made because it has made me healthier.
Mm.
Um, so that's the second thing, to be able to stay on my own lane.
Mm.
Um, the third thing I would say would be my pets, right?
Mm.
I think they help me a lot
Mm.
to stay sane,
Mm.
even though I look pretty insane talking to them.
Like that video you showed me of that creepy filter, right? Like this is how your cats and your dogs see you when you try to get close to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They
Mm.
they are therapy, you know,
Oh yeah.
like it or not. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
they
for
are.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
meant to be. Yeah.
What about you?
Okay, so fundamentally it would be my health and wellness. I mean that I'm not as energetic as I used to be, but I'm just grateful I can take care of the four cats. I'm grateful that I can take care of myself,
Mm.
that I don't need someone else to take care of me. I think that's sorely underrated. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I can depend on myself. I can be self-reliant and independent. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, that I can take care of the house, all the things that needs to be done. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, independence because of God-given health, yeah, and wellness and all whatever resources that He has provided to enable
Mm.
me to do these things. Definitely my relationship with Him, with God. Um, Actually, I would place that before, because without
Mm.
Him, all this would not be possible, because I believe that all that comes from Him. Yeah. So to have this real, authentic relationship and not just something I profess intellectually or verbally, but it's an interior belief, even without knowing fully. I mean, I've never actually seen God or Jesus. Yeah. I've not actually heard his voice. Of course, I've heard his voice interiorly, but it's just very different. I wasn't Saint Peter, let's just put it this way. But I'm grateful that I have that faith to believe to the point of pursuing this relationship with him. And that I feel that he's constantly pursuing me too. Yeah. So it's a two-way relationship. The communication is two-way. And yeah, like you, okay, I've never thought of putting it that way, being comfortable and staying in my lane. I think that's such a nice way to put it, I've never been one to sway with the wind, okay? Once I make up my mind about something, I stick to it. Yeah. People don't usually dissuade me. And I see a lot of that happening actually. A lot of people just going with the crowd because they think, oh, there's safety in numbers. So that belief, that practice, that activity must be good. Yeah, because majority is going there and majority always wins, right? Yeah. So I'm happy, grateful that I'm comfortable being the odd one out in many instances. Yeah. Being the odd fellow, so to speak. Yeah. And comfortable, happy, and knowing that that's the right path, like you say, and knowing that's where I belong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not hankering to be with where other people are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's quite similar to yours.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm grateful to you.
Oh yes. I'm grateful to you too. I was gonna say, to have this new not just the personal connection, but this new platform that I never thought I would ever get into. It never occurred to me, to do videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a different way to communicate your thoughts, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you. You were the one who invited me and you started this. So gratitude should go to you. Recognition and gratitude should go to you. Yeah.
Both ways.
I'm just happy to be in on this, and going for a ride with you. Yeah. Thank you for taking me with you, so to speak. Yeah.
It's a nice ride. It's a nice ride.
It's been very, very fun. Yes.
Yeah. It's been. I remember the first thing that we ever did together were planning parties, Pictionary parties, right? That at that time when we did it, I just felt like, oh, this is so fun. And I felt in my being that, okay, Susanna is one person I can work with. I think we worked very well together during that time. And and of course, we went our separate ways, we did our own thing. I never thought that, it would come to this, like we would end up doing a podcast together.
Yeah, at this age.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that, maybe in your 40s, 30s and 40s, that's when people get into these things, right?
Yeah.
But I think the beauty of it is that even at midlife, we can do new things. We can learn new tricks.
Yes.
Yeah. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can reinvent ourselves in a way. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And definitely grateful for that.
I'm very grateful for that too.
Yeah.
Grateful for the friendship as well. Yeah. I guess everything happens for a reason. Why we kind of lost touch as well, to just go into our own worlds. Yeah. To do whatever we had to do to get it out of our system.
Yes.
Yeah. And now our paths are merging.
Yeah.
And
It's
I'm
really
very
nice.
grateful for that too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.